Good morning, Jets Nation. Welcome to the Jets Show. It's week 12. It is also Black Friday, and today the New York Jets are going up against the Miami Dolphins. We're also wearing our all-black uniforms. It's going to be a sight to look at on TV, but is this Jets game going to be a sight to watch? Find out in today's video. Normally, we start off on the offensive side of the ball, but we're switching things up. We're going defense first in this video. So are the New York Jets going to be able to slow down the NFL's best offensive unit? That's the main question that needs to be asked. And it's going to be a challenge. I mean, when I say the NFL's best offensive unit, it's like without a doubt Miami has the best offense. They're averaging 434 yards per game this year, which is miles ahead of anyone else. The Dolphins have also scored 70 points in a game this year, which is the equivalent of 10 touchdowns. The Jets have scored 9 touchdowns the entire season. Like, the difference between Miami's offense and the Jets' offense is night and day. Miami has a great offense, but can the Jets slow them down? Well, the main way Miami likes to move the football is by passing it. They have a great run game, don't get me wrong, but their main reason for moving the football is through the air. And luckily for the New York Jets, we have ourselves a pretty nice passing defense. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, one of the best cornerback duos in the NFL. CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, also one of the best covering linebackers in the NFL. I mean, the Jets passing defense is pretty good. One of the top 2 units in the league. And yes, we do have the talent to contain Miami's passing attack. I know they have Tyreek Hill. I know they have Jalen Waddle. But looking at what we did against receivers so far this season, I mean, the Jets have been elite. Only 2 wide receivers have scored touchdowns against the Jets in our 10 games we played this year. So while Tyreek Hill's putting up his insane numbers, while Jalen Waddle is one of the best wide receiver 2s in the game, I do think both of them are able to have relatively quiet days. But if you look at what has killed the Jets passing defense all season long, it's been running backs out of the backfield. It's been tight ends. And luckily for the Jets, Miami doesn't really have a legit threat at tight end, but they have threats out the backfield. Raheem Mostert, Devin Achane, one of the best pass-catching duo running backs in the NFL. Now, Achane is questionable to play, so who knows if we're going to see him tomorrow or not, but if he plays, that's going to be dangerous for the New York Jets, because having to stop both Mostert and Achane out the backfield is going to be a challenge. But it's definitely possible. I mean, last week the Jets did struggle against Ty Johnson and James Cook in the receiving game, but if we really put an emphasis on slowing Mostert and Achane out of the backfield, then the New York Jets definitely can do it. Quincy Williams, CJ Mosley, some of the highest coverage grades among all linebackers this season. Jordan Whitehead, Tony Adams have also done a pretty solid job covering running backs this season as well. If the New York Jets actually put an emphasis on it this week, then I do believe we're going to be able to slow them down out of the backfield catching passes, but running the football is going to be the main question. And I do think we're going to be able to see the Dolphins move the football well this week, because so far this season, just about every team has done that on the New York Jets. So yeah, Raheem Mostert, Devin Achane, I do think they're both going to have pretty solid days. But overall, I do feel like this Jets defense is going to be able to do enough to put them in a chance to win this football game. I know what they did against Buffalo last week wasn't ideal, but that's not the case you're going to see from the Jets defense. That was a fluke game. I hope it was a fluke game, and based off of everything we've seen this year, it looks to me like that was a fluke game. So hopefully we're going to see a rebound game from the Jets defense, and I definitely believe we are. But the main question is, what is our dreadful offense going to do? It's going to be also a new look offense as well, because Tim Boyle is now going to be the New York Jets starting quarterback. We've moved on from Zach Wilson, and I put Tim Boyle as our starter. But how much of a difference is it really going to make? Because while it's easy to put Zach Wilson as a scapegoat for our offensive issues, you have to look more further in as to why we struggled on offense, because it's not just Zach Wilson's fault. Any offensive skill player not named Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall has not been performing well this year. Our offensive line is on its last leg. The play calling has also been very bad. Like, there's been a lot of pieces influencing the Jets' bad offensive performance, and benching Zach Wilson isn't going to completely fix that. But it will fix some of our issues, because while we like to give Nathaniel Hackett a lot of grief for his play calling, while we like to get our receivers a lot of grief for not getting open very often, they have been open this year. Nathaniel Hackett has been calling some solid plays this year. It's just Zach Wilson hasn't been hitting those receivers. Zach Wilson hasn't been making those plays. And maybe with him getting benched, we see those open receivers finally start to get hit. But also, I really don't know, because Tim Boyle isn't a good quarterback. I don't know why we're putting him as a starter and not Trevor Siemian. Maybe Boyle knows this offense better. Maybe Siemian isn't as good as he used to be. But I mean, still, Boyle has been pretty terrible his entire NFL career, and I don't think we're going to see a career resurgence from Tim Boyle this week against the Miami Dolphins. I really don't. I mean, the type of game you're going to see from Tim Boyle is probably something like 13 for 23, 207 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Like, that's probably the type of performance we're going to see from Tim Boyle tomorrow. And the mixed bag of throws is going to be insane, because you're going to see Tim Boyle throw a ball that fits through 5 defenders into the hands of Garrett Wilson, looks beautiful, looks like only him and Patrick Mahomes can make that throw, and then the very next play, he's going to overthrow a wide open Xavier Gibson into the hands of Xavier Howard. Like, that's just going to be what's going to happen. So hopefully today the New York Jets can just run this game through the run game. Get Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Israel Abikanita involved as much as possible, and don't put the game in Tim Boyle's hands as much as possible. That needs to be the biggest thing for the Jets offense this week. Just get the running backs involved as much as possible. Miami does have a really good run defense. They really do. But if the New York Jets can put a big emphasis on running the football, then I do believe we're able to have some type of success. You look at what we did running the football successfully this year. You know, put Breece Hall in space. Give Dalvin Cook in space. Get Israel Abikanita in space. Just get those guys to rock in space and just let them work. That's really what we need to see from the Jets this week offensively. Get our running backs involved as much as possible, and just get the ball out of Tim Boyle's hands as much as possible. Keeping the game out of Tim Boyle's hands is how you win it. I mean, sure, Tim Boyle's going to have to make some throws, make some plays if the Jets want to win this game. But if we can find a successful run game, that's how we win. And that's the only way we win, bearing a Mike White-like performance from Tim Boyle, which I doubt we're going to see. And do I think our run game is going to be able to take off and give us the offensive juice we need? I don't think so. I do think the New York Jets are going to lose again 24-13. I think we score 1 touchdown on offense, kick 2 field goals. I don't think it's going to be very pretty. But that's what I'm feeling in this game. Let me guys know what your score predictions are. Do you think we're going to see some juice on offense this week? Let me know. But I'm your host, Jet, signing off for now. See you guys later. Peace.